Welcome back to The Zone. A great night not only for basketball but for wrestling. But before we get to revealing our top step of the night winner, we have a special story to share as one Siouxland man completed his mission to play a simple game of catch for 365 days in a row with the goal of raising money for charity. Kevin Niegaard took his glove and ball to the Arena Sports Academy in Sioux City for his last catch earlier this afternoon, tossing the baseball with Dustin Cooper, Dustin and Caden of Ability Tech, and even the woman who Kevin donated a kidney to in December. Over 2,200 people have played catch with the baseball fanatic, helping Kevin surpass his original donation goal of $100,000 to $348,000 and counting, aiming for a Miracle League goal of $365,000 by Saturday. But after a year's worth of catches from Bush Stadium to Senegal, Africa, it's the interactions with partners like Ozzie Smith, Leah Amico, and Dwyer Brown that have impacted him as much as he's impacted others.
Telling the story of the Miracle League's been incredible, you know, with professional athletes who've never heard of it, but we're really touched by it. So it's probably accomplished all of our goals plus.
Kevin's final catch partner of the day was at the arena with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. Niegaard will also be holding a final catch celebration in the Anthem Theater at the Hard Rock Casino this Saturday from 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. And what an awesome accomplishment for a great cause. But now, finally time to hand out our weekly Top Stop of the Night award. Noah, what you got?
Well, Anthony, once again, we were treated to a ton of great defensive plays tonight. But the top stop of the night is going to our game of the night. Bishop Heelan aiming to get a bucket in the second half. Crusaders get the rebound, but Blake Van Dyke rises for the rejection. Get out of here. Big rejection from the senior as East picks up the win. Man, talk about access denied. And plays like that, oof, I could watch that on a loop all day. Plays like that are the reason why East has stayed undefeated, making plays not only on the offensive side, but also defense as well. And talking with Ross Vanderloo, what things did you have to learn from him tonight?
Well, looking at this East game, they had 5 players score double-digit points, so it wasn't really a one-man band. A lot of those guys can go, and again, I mean, I talked about him last week, Fitzy Grant, the leading scorer, and a little bit of a fun fact, too, Ross Vanderloo, 62 straight wins against Sioux City opponents.
Unbelievable.
I learned that earlier today, so great accomplishment and a great win for the Sioux City Black Raiders. And I know you had a couple games, too, and those Nebraska games and those South Dakota, you get a little bit of everything. It's a mixed bag, almost.
Certainly. I mean, Wayne was just absolutely dominating Crofton in the first and second quarters and really flexing their offensive muscles. And even Laurel getting that big sweep. The girls won, and the boys game would complete the sweep later on over Hardington Newcastle. So a ton of great play, both in classes C and D over in Nebraska. So really some great play all around Siouxland.
Absolutely a great night in basketball in general. Had a lot of fun covering it this week. And that's all the time we have for the rest of our website scores. Go on our website, SiouxlandProud.com. For Noah, I'm Anthony. We'll see you next week in The Zone.